Story 1. My wife betrayed me in the worst way, and now I'm walking away from a life that was never truly mine. I'm Ethan, a 35-year-old man, and I'm still reeling from the moment I realized my entire world was built on lies. 6 years ago, I thought I had it all. A loving wife, a newborn son, a family I'd dreamed of since I was a kid. But that dream? It was a damn mirage, and I'm still choking on the dust it left behind. Let me take you back to the beginning, because you need to feel how deep this cut goes. I met Sarah when we were 22, fresh out of college, both scraping by in a small town where everyone knew your business. She was my best friend, the kind of person who could make you laugh until your sides hurt, even on your worst day. Her smile was like sunlight breaking through a storm, and I fell hard. We got married at 27, after years of late-night talks, road trips, and promises to build a life together. I thought I knew her, every inch of her soul. I was wrong. When our son, Liam, was born, I was 30. I remember holding him for the first time, his tiny fingers curling around mine, and feeling like my heart might burst. I'd never been happier. I threw myself into being a dad. Changed diapers, stayed up for midnight feedings, sang him off-key lullabies when Sarah was too tired. I worked overtime at my construction job to make sure we could afford a good life. Sarah stayed home with Liam, and I trusted her completely. Why wouldn't I? She was my partner, my love, my everything. But cracks started showing, slow at first, like hairline fractures in a foundation you don't notice until the whole house is crumbling. Liam was maybe 2 when I started to see it. He didn't look like me. Not in the way you'd expect. I'm a tall guy, broad-shouldered, with dark brown hair and hazel eyes. Sarah's got lighter brown hair, blue eyes. Liam? His features were softer, his skin a shade different, his eyes a deep brown that didn't match either of us. I brushed it off. Kids are weird, right? They don't always look like carbon copies of their parents. But the thought lingered, a quiet nag in the back of my mind. It wasn't just Liam's looks. Sarah's behavior started setting off alarms. She'd go out, saying she was meeting friends or running errands, but her stories never added up. She'd say she was at the grocery store, but come home with no bags. She'd claim she was at a coworker's house, but when I asked for details, she'd get cagey, snapping at me for interrogating her. She never let me meet anyone from her part-time job at a local boutique. Once, a friend of hers, Jenna, pulled me aside at a barbecue and said Sarah had been flirting with Jenna's boyfriend, acting way too cozy at a party I hadn't been invited to. I confronted Sarah, and she cried, swore it was a misunderstanding, that Jenna was jealous and stirring drama. I believed her because I wanted to. I loved her. The lies piled up. Huge gaps in her schedule she couldn't explain. Phone calls she'd take in another room, whispering, hanging up quick when I walked in. I'd find her texting late at night, and when I asked who it was, she'd say, just a friend, and lock her phone. I'm not the jealous type, but this wasn't normal. I started feeling like a fool, like I was playing a game where I didn't know the rules. Still, I held on. I loved Liam. I loved our life, or at least the version of it I thought was real. I told myself I was being paranoid, that Sarah wouldn't betray me. Not like that. Then, last year, Sarah got pregnant again. I wanted to believe it was mine, wanted to cling to the hope that maybe Liam was a fluke, that this new baby would be ours. But deep down, I knew. When our daughter, Mia, was born 9 months ago, the truth hit me like a sledgehammer. She was mixed race, her skin a warm brown, her features nothing like mine. I stood in the hospital room, staring at her tiny face, and felt my world collapse. Sarah tried to explain, stammering about distant ancestry or some nonsense, but I wasn't buying it. I refused to sign the birth certificate. I demanded paternity tests for both kids. The results came back a month ago, and they gutted me. Neither Liam nor Mia is mine. not a single drop of my DNA in them. Sarah had been cheating, not just once, but for years, with at least one other man, maybe more. I don't know who the fathers are, and honestly, I don't care. The betrayal was so raw, so complete, it felt like someone had ripped my heart out and stomped on it. I filed for divorce the same day those results came in. I packed a bag, walked out of the house, and haven't looked back. Leaving wasn't easy. Liam's 6 now, and for his whole life, I was his dad. I taught him how to ride a tricycle, read him stories every night, cheered louder than anyone at his preschool graduation. I loved him with every piece of me. When I moved out, Sarah dragged him into the room, his little face crumpled with confusion, and said, "Look at what you're doing to him, Ethan." He was sobbing, clutching my leg, begging me not to go. It broke me. I knelt down, hugged him tight, and told him I loved him. But I couldn't stay. Every time I look at him now, I see Sarah's lies. I see 6 years of my life stolen, years I poured into a family that was never mine. Sarah's been relentless since I left. She uses Liam to guilt me, having him call me at all hours, his voice shaky and small, saying, "Daddy, please come home." I can hear her coaching him in the background, and it makes my blood boil. She's weaponizing a kid to manipulate me, and it's the lowest thing she's ever done. She texts me constantly, saying I'm a monster for abandoning Liam, that I'm his dad no matter what biology says. She's told everyone, our friends, her family, even strangers online, that I'm heartless, that I walked out on my son because of my own pride. The backlash has been brutal. People I thought were my friends call me a deadbeat. My own siblings, except for my parents, say I'm despicable for leaving a kid who loves me. They act like my pain doesn't matter, like I should just suck it up and play pretend for Liam's sake. But why is my pain invisible? Why am I expected to man up and act like everything's fine when my entire life was a lie? I trusted Sarah. I gave her everything, my love, my time, my future, and she screwed me over. I'm not Liam's father. I never was. And as much as I love him, as much as it kills me to think of him hurting, I can't keep living a lie. If I stayed, I'd grow to resent him. I'd hate myself for not standing up for my own heart. I'd see Sarah's betrayal in his face every day, and it would poison us both. The last 6 years feel like a dream I can't wake up from. I remember the good moments, Liam's first word, "Dada," the way he'd run to me when I got home from work, his tiny arms around my neck. I remember building a treehouse with him last summer, just the two of us, laughing as we hammered nails and got covered in sawdust. Those memories are real, but they're tainted now. They're built on a foundation of deceit, and I can't unsee it. Every time I think of Liam, I think of Sarah's lies, her secret phone calls, her unexplained absences. I think of the man, or men, who took my place in her life, in our bed, in the family I thought was mine. I've been staying with my parents since I moved out, sleeping in my old childhood bedroom, which feels like a cruel joke. I'm 35, starting over with nothing but a broken heart and a duffel bag of clothes. My mom tries to comfort me, saying I did the right thing, that I deserve to heal. My dad just listens, his silence saying more than words ever could. They're the only ones who get it, who see how deeply Sarah hurt me. Everyone else? They're too busy judging me, calling me selfish for walking away from a kid who isn't mine. I saw Liam last week, and it damn near destroyed me. Sarah asked me to meet them at a park, saying Liam needed to see me. I went, against my better judgment. He ran up to me, all smiles, holding a drawing he'd made, a stick figure family, me, him, Sarah, and baby Mia. He said, "Look, Daddy, it's us." I couldn't breathe. I forced a smile, ruffled his hair, and played with him for an hour, pushing him on the swings, pretending everything was okay. But inside, I was screaming. Sarah watched us from a bench, her eyes smug, like she thought she'd won. When it was time to go, Liam clung to me, crying, asking why I couldn't come home. I told him I loved him, but I had to go. Walking away, hearing his sobs, felt like tearing my own soul apart. I've been wrestling with this every day. Part of me wants to be there for Liam, to keep being his dad, because he's innocent in all this. He didn't ask for his mom to lie, to cheat, to blow up his world. But the other part of me, the part that's still bleeding from Sarah's betrayal, knows I can't do it. I can't look at him without seeing her deceit. I can't pretend I'm okay when I'm not. I've spent 6 years living a lie, and I'm done. I need to take my life back, to find a way to heal, to build something real for myself. Sarah's facing her own mess now. Without me, she's struggling. She can't afford the house on her own, and she's been begging me to come back, saying we can work it out. She even had the nerve to suggest I adopt Liam and Mia legally, as if that would erase what she did. I shut that down fast. The divorce is moving forward, and I'm fighting to make sure I'm not on the hook for child support for kids who aren't mine. It's a legal nightmare, but I'm not backing down. Sarah made her choices, and now she gets to live with them. I heard through a mutual friend that Sarah's been trying to track down the real fathers, but no luck so far. She's spinning a sob story to anyone who'll listen, painting herself as the victim, saying I abandoned her and the kids. It's infuriating, but I'm done trying to set the record straight. People believe what they want. I'm focusing on me now, on rebuilding a life that's mine, not some facade someone else created. A few days ago, I started therapy. It's raw, messy, and I'm not sure it's helping yet, but I'm trying. I need to unpack the anger, the grief, the guilt. I still love Liam, and I probably always will. But love isn't enough when the foundation's gone. I can't be his dad, not when every moment with him reminds me of Sarah's betrayal. I hope one day he understands, maybe when he's older, that none of this was his fault. I hope he grows up strong, happy, with people who love him the way he deserves. But I can't be one of those people. Not anymore. The hardest part is the silence at night, when I'm alone with my thoughts. I keep replaying the last 6 years, wondering how I missed the signs, how I let myself be so blind. I think about Liam's laugh, his goofy grin, the way he'd curl up next to me on the couch. I think about Mia, so tiny and innocent, caught in a mess she didn't make. I think about Sarah, and the rage comes back, hot and sharp. She took everything, my trust, my future, my family, and left me with nothing but pain. But I'm not giving up. I'm starting to see glimmers of a new life. I've been fixing up an old truck with my dad, something to keep my hands busy. I'm thinking about moving to a new city, somewhere I can start fresh, where no one knows my story. I want to find myself again, the guy I was before Sarah, before the lies. I want to believe I can trust again, love again, maybe even have a family one day, a real one. Sarah's lies cost me 6 years, but they won't cost me the rest of my life. She's facing the consequences now, alone with 2 kids and a house she can't pay for. I don't wish her harm, but I'm not her savior. She made her bed, and I'm done lying in it. I'm walking away, not because I'm heartless, but because I'm human. I deserve to heal. I deserve a life that's mine. Have you ever been in a situation like this? What would you do? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this kind of content and want to hear more real-life stories, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means so much to me. Thank you.
Story 2. I'm 2 weeks away from my wedding, and my life just imploded. My fiancée, Lauren, is helping her sister cheat on my brother-in-law, and I'm staring down the barrel of canceling everything while my heart's in a blender. I need to vent this somewhere before I lose it completely. It all started last night, a rare quiet evening at home. Lauren, a 28-year-old whirlwind of energy, was in the kitchen, chopping veggies for dinner, her auburn hair tied back in a messy bun. Me, a 34-year-old guy who's been her rock for 6 years, I was out back on our 5-acre property, hammering away at a pergola I've been building for months. Picture this, stars popping out in a velvet sky, the air crisp with that late summer chill, and me, sweaty and sore, dreaming about cozy fall nights by the fire pit with Lauren. We've been engaged for a year, and the wedding's been this glowing beacon we've both been racing toward. Until last night, when it all turned to ash. I trudged inside, parched from hauling lumber, my boots leaving dirt smudges on the porch. The kitchen was warm, filled with the smell of garlic and onions sizzling in a pan. Lauren was at the counter, her phone on speaker, and I caught the tail end of a conversation. The voice was unmistakable. My brother-in-law, Tom, a 36-year-old high school teacher with a laugh that fills a room. He's married to Lauren's sister, Claire, a 30-year-old graphic designer who's always been a bit of a free spirit. They've got a 2-year-old daughter, Mia, who's the light of their lives. Tom was asking where Claire was. "She's not answering my texts," he said, sounding frustrated. Lauren, without missing a beat, replied, "She just left here. Should be home in, like, half an hour." I grabbed a glass from the cabinet, my brain not fully clocking what she'd said. I asked, casual as anything, "What's that about?" Lauren barely looked up. "Tom's looking for Claire," she said, her fingers flying over her phone. "I'm texting her now to let her know." I poured some iced tea, took a sip, and sat at the kitchen island, watching Lauren stir the sauce. She was humming softly, the same way she does when she's lost in her own world. Everything seemed so normal. But then, like a delayed fuse, my brain caught up. Hold up. Claire wasn't here. I'd been home all evening, and the last time we saw Claire was yesterday, when she dropped by to help Lauren with wedding favors. Those little jars of honey we spent hours tying ribbons around. So why the hell did Lauren just tell Tom that Claire had been here? And why was she texting Claire, expecting a reply, when Tom said Claire wasn't answering? My stomach twisted. I stared at Lauren, her back to me, still humming, and a cold realization hit. She was lying. Not just to Tom, but right in front of me. Either she knew where Claire was and was covering for her, or she was warning Claire to get home fast before Tom got suspicious. Both options made my skin crawl. I didn't say anything. I couldn't. My throat felt like it was closing up. I mumbled something about checking on the pergola and stumbled back outside, my head spinning. The night air hit me like a slap, but it didn't clear the fog in my mind. I stood there, gripping a hammer, replaying the conversation. Maybe I misheard. Maybe Claire had popped by while I was out back. But no, I'd been in and out of the house all evening. There's no way I'd have missed her car in the driveway. For the next 5 hours, I was a mess. I paced the yard, the crickets mocking me with their endless chirping. My brain churned through every possible explanation. Maybe Claire was planning a surprise for Tom, and Lauren was keeping it secret. Maybe it was a misunderstanding, and Lauren just misspoke. But the darker thoughts kept creeping in. What if Claire was cheating? What if Lauren was helping her? The idea made my chest ache, like someone was squeezing my heart with a fist. Lauren's always been my safe place. Funny, kind, the woman who'd dance with me in the living room to no music, who'd leave sticky notes with dumb jokes on my laptop. Could she really be part of something so ugly? By midnight, I was back inside, sitting in the dark living room, the TV flickering with some mindless show I wasn't watching. Lauren had gone to bed, her soft snores drifting from the bedroom. I couldn't sleep. My gut was screaming at me to check her phone. We've always been open with each other. Pins. Shared, no secrets. But this felt different. Dirty. Like I was crossing a line. Still, I couldn't shake the need to know. At 1 a.m, I crept into the bedroom, my heart pounding so loud I was sure it'd wake her. Her phone was on the nightstand, glowing faintly. I grabbed it, tiptoed to the bathroom, and locked the door. My hands were shaking as I punched in her PIN. The screen lit up, and I opened her texts with Claire. What I found gutted me. Hundreds of messages, stretching back 6 months. Claire was having an affair with a coworker named Ryan, a 27-year-old marketing guy. Lauren wasn't just aware. She was helping Claire cover it up. There were texts about meeting times, alibis, even crude jokes about Tom's boring bedroom habits. Lauren had written things like, "You go, girl. Get what you need, and don't worry, I'll tell Tom you're with me." There were details about Ryan. How he was so much hotter than Tom, how Claire felt alive with him. My stomach churned as I scrolled, my eyes burning. This wasn't just Claire's betrayal. Lauren was cheering her on, lying to Tom, a man she'd known for years, a man she'd called family. I sat on the bathroom floor, the cold tiles biting through my sweats, and took screenshots of everything. My hands were clumsy, my vision blurring. I sent the shots to my phone, put hers back, and retreated to my office, a small room crammed with books and a desk I barely use. That's when I started typing this, trying to make sense of the bomb that just went off in my life. I can't marry Lauren. I just can't. There's no excuse for this. She's not just lying. She's enabling Claire to destroy Tom and their daughter, Mia. That little girl deserves better than a mom who sneaks around and a dad who's being played for a fool. And me? I feel like an idiot. How did I miss this? Lauren's always been my everything. Beautiful, with those green eyes that crinkle when she laughs, and a heart I thought was pure gold. We've built a life together, this house, this land, dreams of kids and growing old. But now? It's like I'm looking at a stranger. The wedding's in 2 weeks. We've sunk thousands into it. Venue, catering, flowers, the works. My family's flown in from across the country, and Lauren's parents have been saving for years to help. There's no getting that money back. But the money's the least of it. It's the shame, the questions, the pitying looks I'll get when I tell everyone it's off. And the worst part? I still love her. I hate myself for it, but I do. I keep picturing her smile, the way she'd curl up against me on the couch, whispering about our future. How do I let that go? How do I walk away from the woman I thought I'd spend my life with? But I have to. There's no coming back from this. I can't trust her anymore, and without trust, what's left? I'm sitting here, staring at my computer screen, my coffee gone cold, and I feel like I'm drowning. I've got to tell Tom. He deserves to know. And I've got to face Lauren, call off the wedding, and deal with the fallout. I'm not ready for any of it. I want to scream, punch a wall, anything to make this hurt less. But all I've got is this keyboard and a heart that's breaking in real time. It's 5 in the morning now, and I haven't slept. My eyes are gritty, my head's pounding, and I've got work in a few hours. I'm a fraud investigator for an insurance company, sniffing out workers' comp scams. It's a job that's made me cynical about lies, but I never thought I'd be sniffing out betrayal in my own house. I'm heading to the office early to avoid Lauren. I can't look at her right now, not without losing it. I need space to figure out how to break this to Tom and cancel the wedding without torching my entire life. At work, the office is empty, just the hum of the AC and the smell of stale coffee. I call my older brother, Mike, who's in California with his wife and kids. It's still late there, but he picks up, his voice groggy. I spill everything, my words tripping over each other. Mike's quiet for a long time, then says, "You deal with liars every day at work. No wonder this is hitting you so hard. You thought home was safe." He's right. That's why this hurts so damn much. Home was supposed to be my sanctuary, and Lauren was supposed to be my truth. Mike doesn't mention the money he spent on flights for the wedding, just tells me to come to California after I sort this out. "Bring the kids' uncle along," he says, meaning me. "We'll hit the beaches, make it a family thing." It's a lifeline, and I grab it. By 9, my stomach's a mess from chugging coffee, and I can't focus on work. My boss gives me a weird look during our morning meeting, but I don't care. I have to tell Tom. He's on summer break, so I take a sick day and drive to his place, a tidy ranch house with a tricycle in the yard. Tom's just put Mia down for a nap, and we sit at his kitchen table, the weight of what I'm about to say crushing me. I tell him everything. Lauren's lie, the texts, Claire's affair. His face goes gray, like the life's draining out of him. He says he suspected something for months but couldn't prove it. Claire's been too good at hiding it, with Lauren's help. I show him the screenshots, and he scrolls through them, his jaw tight. I need to know who this guy is, he says, his voice low, dangerous. I hesitate. I'm not a private eye, just a guy who catches people faking back injuries. But Tom's my friend, my almost brother, and I can't leave him hanging. I tell him I'll help, but he's got to keep it together. Mia's napping upstairs, and she doesn't need to see her dad fall apart. We spend the next few hours digging. I'm working from my laptop at Tom's kitchen table, canceling wedding stuff where I can. The honeymoon's mostly salvageable. I rebook it for California, swapping Lauren's ticket for my sister, Emma. The venue's trickier. I'm holding off until I talk to Lauren so Claire doesn't get tipped off before Tom confronts her. I hit the bank, open a new account, and start untangling our finances. The house is in my name, but Lauren put in 20 grand for the down payment. I'll have to pay her back, plus some of the mortgage, but I'll figure it out. Money's the easy part. The hard part's coming tonight, when I face Lauren. It's 7 in the evening, and I'm at my buddy Nate's place, a cluttered apartment that smells like pizza and gym socks. Nate's a former co-worker, same job as me, and he's been my sounding board through this mess. Earlier, Tom asked for my help tracking down Ryan, Claire's fling. All we had was a name and that he worked with Claire. I tried LinkedIn, but nothing. Tom said Claire was going out for drinks after work, and his gut told him she'd be with Ryan. I didn't want to play detective, but Tom was desperate, his eyes red from holding back tears. So I agreed, but he had to come with me. We dropped Mia off at Tom's parents' place, then drove to Claire's office, a strip mall with bland storefronts. We found her car, and Tom used his spare key to unlock it. I had a GPS tracker and a voice recorder. Cheap stuff I use for work. And we planted them. Nate met us there, ready to play backup. When Claire left work, she was with 2 girlfriends and a tall guy with sandy hair, holding her hand like it was no big deal. I snapped photos from the car, my hands shaking with anger. Claire didn't even try to hide it. We followed her to a bar, a trendy spot with string lights and overpriced burgers. Nate went in first, blending in, texting me pics of Claire and Ryan kissing at a table with her friends. Tom's face crumpled when he saw them. One of the friends was married, a close friend of theirs with a kid Mia's age. The betrayal wasn't just Claire's. It was a whole damn conspiracy. Tom wanted Ryan's full name. I tried to talk him down, but he was begging, so I went inside. I played it cool, walking up to Claire's table like I just bumped into her. "Hey, Claire. Fancy seeing you here." Her face froze, and the table went silent. She introduced me as Lauren's fiancé, and I shook Ryan's hand, fishing for his name. He gave it. Ryan's just his middle name. His real name's Ethan. I made small talk, mentioned meeting a coworker, and waved at Nate before slipping away. Back with Nate, we dug into Ethan online. 27, married, with a 1-year-old daughter. This just kept getting uglier. I texted Tom the info and told him to wait. I stayed in the bar, keeping an eye on Claire's group. My presence was clearly screwing up their vibe. Claire kept glancing at me, her smile forced. After 10 minutes, I had Tom text Claire that he was staying at his parents' with Mia. Sure enough, Claire checked her phone, showed it to Ethan, and they all started packing up. She came over, all fake cheer, inviting me and Lauren for dinner that weekend. I smiled, said sure, and watched them leave. We followed Claire home, keeping our distance. Ethan pulled into her driveway, and she let him in. That was my cue to bow out. I'd done enough. Too much, maybe. Tom said he'd handle it from there, and I drove to Nate's, my head pounding. Tom texted later, saying it was done, but I don't know the details, and honestly, I don't want to. I've got my own war to fight. It's 9 at night, and I'm about to head home to face Lauren. My stomach's in knots, my palms sweaty. I don't know how she'll react, but it's not gonna be pretty. I pull into our driveway, the house dark except for the living room light. I step inside, and there's Lauren, sitting on the couch with Claire, both of them crying. Claire's a mess, mascara streaking her face, and Lauren's holding her, whispering something. I freeze, my bag slipping from my shoulder. This wasn't how I pictured this going. Lauren looks up, her eyes wide. "Where've you been?" she asks, her voice shaky. I don't answer. I can't. Claire's here, which means Tom's confronted her, and now I'm walking into a damn soap opera. I set my bag down, my jaw tight. "We need to talk," I say, looking at Lauren. Claire hiccups, clutching a tissue, but I don't care. This is between me and my fiancé. Or ex-fiancé. Lauren stands, her hands twisting together. "What's wrong?" she asks, but there's a flicker in her eyes, like she knows something's up. I take a deep breath, my voice steady but cold. "I heard you on the phone with Tom last night. You lied about Claire being here. Then I checked your phone. I saw the texts. You've been helping Claire cheat on Tom for 6 months." The room goes dead silent. Claire gasps, covering her mouth, but Lauren just stares at me, her face paling. "You went through my phone?" she whispers, like that's the real crime here. I laugh, bitter and sharp. "Yeah, I did. And I found out my fiancé's been lying to my face, helping her sister bang some coworker while Tom's at home with their kid." Claire starts sobbing, loud and messy, but Lauren's eyes flash with anger. "You don't understand," she says, stepping toward me. Claire was unhappy. She needed someone to talk to. I was just being there for her. I shake my head, my voice rising. "Being there? You were her damn accomplice. You lied to Tom, made up alibis, laughed about it like it was a game. You think that's okay? You think I can marry someone who does that?" Lauren's crying now, tears streaming down her face, but I'm too far gone to care. "I trusted you," I say, my voice breaking. "I thought you were my home, my future. But you're not who I thought you were. The wedding's off." Claire wails, and Lauren grabs my arm, her nails digging in. "Please, don't do this. I love you. I didn't mean to hurt anyone." I pull away, my chest tight. "You didn't just hurt Tom. You hurt me. You broke us." It spirals from there. Claire's screaming at me, calling me judgmental, saying I don't know what it's like to be trapped in a marriage. Lauren's begging, promising to make it right, but I'm done. The neighbors must have heard, because a cop car pulls up, lights flashing. An officer knocks, asks if everything's okay. I tell him it's just a breakup, and he leaves after a warning to keep it down. I grab a bag, throw in some clothes, and walk out, Lauren's sobs echoing behind me. I crash at Nate's again, collapsing on his couch. I sleep for 10 hours, my body shutting down from the exhaustion. When I wake, my phone's blowing up. Missed calls from Lauren, texts from my family, even a voicemail from Tom saying he's okay but needs space. I don't call anyone back. I can't. I'm numb, like I've been hollowed out. It's been 2 days, and I'm still at Nate's, living out of my duffel bag. I've cancelled the venue, the caterer, everything. My family's supportive, but I can feel their disappointment, their questions. Lauren's called a dozen times, leaving voicemails that range from tearful apologies to angry rants. I haven't listened to them all. I can't handle her voice right now. Tom's filed for divorce. He's got the screenshots, the recorder, everything he needs to make sure Claire doesn't screw him over. He's staying with his parents, focusing on Mia. I don't know what's next for him, but he's strong. Stronger than I feel right now. As for me, I'm flying to California next week. Mike's got a spare room, and the kids are excited to see their uncle. I'll spend my honeymoon building sandcastles and eating too much ice cream. It's not the future I planned, but it's something. Lauren's stuff is still at the house, and I'll have to deal with that eventually. Pay her back for the down payment, sort out the mortgage. But for now, I just need to breathe. I keep replaying the last 6 years, looking for signs I missed. Lauren was always so open, so warm. How did I not see this? How did I fall for someone who could lie like that? I don't hate her, not really. I'm just sad. Sad for what we had, what we lost. Sad for Tom and Mia. Sad for the life I thought was mine. I'm not okay, but I will be. One day, I'll look back on this and see it as the moment I dodged a bullet. For now, I'm just taking it one step at a time, trying not to drown in the wreckage. Have you ever been in a situation like this? What would you do? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this kind of content and want to hear more real-life stories, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means so much to me. Thank you. Story 3. After 18 years of marriage, I found out my kids aren't mine, and my entire life feels like a lie. My wife, Tara, confessed to a one-night betrayal that turned everything I thought I knew into dust. I'm sitting in a hotel room, staring at a wall, trying to figure out how to pick up the pieces of a heart that's been smashed to bits. It all started 2 days ago, but it feels like a lifetime. Tara and I, both 43 years old, have been together for over 20 years, married for 18. We have 17-year-old twins, Ethan and Lily, who are my whole world. They're smart, funny, and just starting to carve out their own paths. Ethan's got his dad's love for fixing things, always tinkering with some gadget, while Lily's got this quiet strength, sketching in her notebook for hours. I've raised them, loved them, coached their soccer teams, and tucked them in at night. They're mine in every way that matters. Or so I thought. The truth came crashing down because of a damn ancestry test. The twins got them as a Christmas gift from Tara's sister, a fun family project to trace our roots. We all spit in the tubes, sent them off, and waited for the results, expecting some cool stories about distant relatives. When the email came, I opened it with the kids, excited to see what mix of Irish or Italian might pop up. Instead, the results showed no genetic link between me and the twins. 0. I sat there, staring at the screen, my brain refusing to process it. Ethan laughed, thinking it was a glitch. Lily frowned, her pencil stopping mid-sketch. I tried to play it off, saying the lab must have screwed up, but my stomach was already sinking. That night, after the kids went to bed, I showed the results to Tara. We were in our kitchen, the same one where we've shared countless late-night talks over coffee, the heart of our home. Tara's a petite woman with warm brown eyes and a laugh that used to make my day. She's my partner in every sense, not just in life but in the marketing firm we built from the ground up. She took one look at the results, and her face crumpled. She didn't deny it, didn't make excuses. She just started crying, her hands covering her mouth like she was trying to hold the truth in. "I'm so sorry," she whispered, her voice breaking. "It was one time, one stupid night. I never meant for this to happen." I stood there, frozen, as she spilled it all. 20 years ago, right after we got married, we had a massive fight. We'd started our business a year earlier, pouring every penny and ounce of energy into it. We were young, ambitious, and stubborn, both 23 and convinced we knew best. The fight was about strategy. I wanted to chase big corporate clients, Tara thought we should focus on local businesses. It got ugly, words thrown like knives, and I stormed out, crashing at a friend's place for 2 weeks. I was hurt, angry, convinced we'd made a mistake getting married so fast. Tara said she went out one night during that time, drowning her stress in a bar. She got drunk, met some guy, and slept with him. She didn't even know his last name, just a random stranger who vanished into the night. When we reconciled a couple of weeks later, compromising on our business plan and falling back into each other's arms, she was already pregnant. She didn't know for sure whose kids they were, but she hoped they were mine. She never told me, never hinted at it, just buried it deep and carried on like nothing happened. As she talked, I felt the floor drop out from under me. The kitchen, with its familiar smells of fresh herbs and lemon cleaner, suddenly felt alien. Tara was sobbing, reaching for my hand, but I pulled away, my skin crawling. "You lied to me for 18 years, I said, my voice low, barely recognizable. You let me raise kids you knew might not be mine." She swore it was the only time she ever cheated, that she's been faithful ever since, that she loves me more than anything. But all I could hear was the lie, echoing through 2 decades of memories. I couldn't stay in the house. I grabbed a bag, threw in some clothes, and drove to a hotel, a cheap one off the highway with thin walls and a flickering neon sign. That was 2 days ago. I haven't eaten today, haven't slept much either. I'm sitting on this lumpy hotel bed, the TV muttering in the background, and I feel like a ghost. My phone's buzzing with texts from Tara, apologies and pleas to talk, but I can't face her. Not yet. Maybe not ever. The twins don't know the full story. I told them the test results were a mix-up and we'd sort it out, but Lily's too sharp. She's been texting me, asking if I'm okay, her messages full of worry. Ethan's quieter, but I can tell he's confused. I love those kids so damn much. They're not just my kids, they're my heart, my reason for getting up every morning. I'm their dad, no matter what some DNA test says. I've bandaged their scraped knees, cheered at their games, and cried with them when our old dog died. I'm not abandoning them, not now, not ever. But how do I tell them the truth? How do I look into their eyes and explain that the man they call dad isn't their father? Tara and I built a life together, brick by brick. We met as co-workers at a dead-end job, both fresh out of college, itching to prove ourselves. We clicked instantly, her quick wit matching my drive. After 2 years, we took a leap and started our firm, working out of a tiny apartment, eating ramen and dreaming big. We got married a year later, a small ceremony in her parents' backyard, her in a simple white dress, me grinning like an idiot. The business was our baby before the twins came along. We faced lawsuits, recessions, clients who didn't pay, but we always had each other's backs. I thought we were unbreakable. That fight early in our marriage was the only time we ever came close to splitting. I remember the rage, the hurt, slamming the door as I left. When Tara showed up at my friend's place, her eyes red from crying, I melted. We talked for hours, found a middle ground, and fell back into bed, laughing and promising never to let anything come between us again. A month later, she told me she was pregnant, and I was over the moon. The twins were born, and our life became a whirlwind of diapers, late-night pitches, and love so deep I thought it could weather anything. Now, I'm questioning every moment. Was she lying even then, when she smiled and handed me our newborns? Was every "I love you" tainted by her secret? I keep replaying that night she confessed. Her voice, raw and desperate, begging me to understand. "I was scared," she said. "I didn't want to lose you. I thought if I told you, you'd leave, and I couldn't bear it. Part of me gets it." We were young, our marriage shaky, the business teetering. But 18 years? She had 18 years to tell me, to trust me with the truth. Instead, she let me build a life on a foundation of sand. The hotel room smells like stale cigarettes and regret. I haven't showered today, haven't even changed out of the jeans I've been wearing since I left. My laptop's open on the desk, work emails piling up, but I can't focus. Our business is still running, clients waiting for campaigns, but how do I sit across from Tara in a meeting, pretending everything's fine? How do I share an office with the woman who broke me? I don't know if I can forgive her. I don't even know if I want to try. Tara's been a great wife, a phenomenal mom, a partner who's carried half the load through every storm. But this betrayal cuts so deep, it's like she's carved out a piece of my soul. I look at our wedding photo, tucked in my wallet, and I don't recognize us anymore. That young couple, so sure of their future, feels like strangers. The kids are what keep me grounded. I texted them this morning, just to check in, promising we'd grab pizza when I'm back. They don't deserve to be caught in this mess. I need to protect them, to make sure they know I'm still their dad, no matter what. But the thought of facing Tara, of sitting down and deciding what comes next, makes my chest tight. Divorce feels like a word too big to say out loud. But staying? That feels like betraying myself. It's midnight now, and the hotel's quiet except for the hum of the mini fridge. I'm trying to write this all down to make sense of it, but my thoughts are a tangled mess. I keep seeing Tara's face, her tears, her hands reaching for me. I keep hearing her say she loves me, and part of me wants to believe it. But love isn't enough when trust is gone. I don't know how to move forward, don't know who I am without her. All I know is I'm not ready to go back, not ready to face the wreckage of our life. The next morning, I force myself to eat a granola bar from the hotel vending machine. It tastes like cardboard, but it's something. My phone's still blowing up with Tara's messages, each one a dagger. Please come home. We can work through this. I love you. I don't reply. I can't. Instead, I call Lily, needing to hear her voice. She picks up, sounding cautious. Dad, where are you? Mom's a mess. I swallow hard, keeping my tone light. Just taking a little break, kiddo. How's my favorite artist doing? She talks about a new sketch she's working on, and for a moment, I can breathe. But when she asks when I'm coming home, I dodge, promising soon. Ethan calls later, his voice gruff, like he's trying not to cry. Is this about the test? Are you mad at us? My heart breaks. I tell him I love him, that none of this is their fault, that I'll always be his dad. He's quiet, then says, okay. Just don't disappear. I promise I won't, but the words feel heavy, like I'm making a vow I'm not sure I can keep. I spend the day walking, trying to clear my head. The hotel's near a park, and I wander the trails, the crunch of leaves under my boots the only sound. I think about the twins' childhood, all the moments I thought defined us. Teaching Ethan to ride a bike, his wobbly grin as he pedaled away. Reading to Lily at night, her head on my shoulder, her tiny hand in mine. Those memories are real, but they're tangled with Tara's lie, and I don't know how to separate them. By evening, I'm back in the hotel, staring at my reflection in the bathroom mirror. I look like hell, eyes bloodshot, stubble creeping across my jaw. I need to decide something, anything, but every option feels wrong. Divorce means tearing apart the family, the business, the life we've built. Staying means swallowing a betrayal I'm not sure I can stomach. I think about Tara, alone in our house, probably crying herself to sleep. I hate that I still care, that part of me wants to hold her, tell her it'll be okay. But it's not okay. Nothing is. I call my brother, Jack, a 45-year-old contractor who's always been my rock. He's in Oregon, but he picks up on the first ring. I spill everything, my voice cracking. Jack listens, doesn't interrupt, just lets me unload. When I'm done, he says, you don't have to decide today. Take your time. The kids need you, and you need to be whole for them. Tara messed up, big time, but you don't have to let it define you. His words are a lifeline, but they don't erase the ache. The next day, I meet the twins for pizza at their favorite spot, a hole in the wall with greasy tables and the best pepperoni in town. They're nervous, picking at their slices, but I keep it light, asking about school, their friends. Lily shows me a sketch on her phone, a haunting portrait of a girl in shadow. Ethan talks about a robotics project, his eyes lighting up. For an hour, I'm just dad, and it's the best I've felt in days. But when they ask about Tara, I tense. We're working through some stuff, I say, hating how vague it sounds. They nod, but I can see the worry in their eyes. Back at the hotel, I finally listen to Tara's voicemails. Her voice is raw, broken, each message a plea. I know I hurt you, but I love you. I'll do anything to fix this. Please, just talk to me. The last one's from this morning, quieter, like she's run out of steam. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to make this right, but I'll wait for you. I delete them all, my thumb shaking. I don't know if I'm angry or just empty. A week passes, and I'm still in the hotel, living out of a suitcase. The twins visit me, and we watch movies on my laptop, crammed on the bed like they're little again. I tell them I love them, that I'm not going anywhere, but I don't mention the test. Not yet. I need to be steady for them, but I'm barely holding it together. Tara and I finally talk, a tense meeting at a coffee shop. She looks thinner, her eyes hollow. She tries to explain again, but I cut her off. You had years to tell me. Years. She nods, tears falling. I was a coward. I thought I was protecting us. I tell her. I need space, that I don't know what's next. She agrees to give me time, but as I walk away, I feel her gaze on my back, heavy with regret. The business is a problem. We can't work together like this, but we can't just shut it down. I start looking into selling my share, or hers, but it's complicated, tied up in contracts and debts. I hire a lawyer, quietly, to explore my options. Divorce is on the table, but I haven't said it out loud. It's too final, too real. One night, I dream about the twins' first birthday, Tara and me covered in cake frosting, laughing as Ethan smeared it on my nose. I wake up crying, the memory so vivid it hurts. I want that life back, but I don't know if it ever existed. Was it all a lie? Or was it real, tainted by one mistake? I don't have answers, just questions that keep me up until dawn. I start seeing a therapist, a gruff guy who doesn't sugarcoat things. He tells me to focus on the kids, on myself, not on Tara's betrayal. You can't control what she did, he says. You can control what you do now. It's simple, but it helps. I start running in the mornings, the park trails becoming my escape. I eat again, real food, not just vending machine crap. I'm not healed, but I'm moving. The twins deserve the truth, and I dread it. I talk to my therapist about how to tell them, and he suggests waiting until I'm steadier, so they don't feel like their world's collapsing. But secrets got us here, so I decide to be honest, soon. I want them to hear it from me, not some test or rumor. I plan a weekend with them, just us, to talk it through. I don't know what I'll say, but I'll start with love, with the fact that they're mine, no matter what. Tara's still in the house, still running the business, but we're like strangers. She's respecting my space, but I can tell she's hurting. Part of me wants to punish her, to make her feel this pain. But another part remembers the woman who stood by me through every crisis, who built a life with me. I don't know if that woman's still there, or if she ever was. A month later, I'm back in the house, but not in our bedroom. I'm in the guest room, a temporary truce for the kids' sake. Tara and I are civil, but it's fragile, like walking on glass. The twins know the truth now. I sat them down, told them about the test, about Tara's mistake. Ethan was angry, stormed off, but came back later, hugging me tight. Lily cried, asked if I'd still be her dad. I promised I would, and I meant it. They're struggling, but we're talking, trying to rebuild. Tara's facing consequences. Her sister's furious, calling her selfish. Her parents are disappointed, their calls short and strained. The business is suffering, clients sense the tension. I'm pushing to sell, to untangle our lives. Tara agrees, but it's slow, painful. She's in therapy too, trying to understand why she kept the secret so long. I don't know if it'll change anything, but it's something. I'm not the same man I was. The trust is gone, maybe forever. But I'm finding myself again, piece by piece. The kids are my anchor, their love a constant in this storm. I don't know if Tara and I will ever be us again. Divorce feels likely, but I'm not rushing. For now, I'm focusing on Ethan and Lily, on being the dad they need. Tara's betrayal broke me, but it won't define me. I'm more than her lie, and I'm fighting to remember that. Have you ever been in a situation like this? What would you do? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this kind of content and want to hear more real-life stories, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means so much to me. Thank you. Story 4. 2 days ago, I found out my wife is cheating on me with her ex, and my whole world collapsed. 10 years of marriage, 2 beautiful kids, a life I thought was rock solid, all shattered because she fell back into the arms of a man she once destroyed. I'm spilling this here because I need to get it out before it eats me alive. I'm a 35-year-old guy, married to my wife, Emily, also 35, for a decade. We've got 2 kids, a 6-year-old son, Noah, and a 2-year-old daughter, Ava, who are my everything. Noah's a whirlwind, always building Lego towers and asking a million questions, while Ava's got this giggle that lights up a room. We've built a good life, or so I thought, in a cozy house with a big backyard, just outside the city. But looking back, I wasn't perfect. I missed things, big things, and maybe that's why we're here. It all traces back to December 2019, when Emily's older sister, Rachel, passed away. Rachel was 38, plagued by health issues, both physical and mental, and her death hit like a freight train. Emily was 8 months pregnant with Ava, we'd just moved into a bigger house, and her parents were relocating to be closer to us. Then COVID slammed the world shut, and Emily never got the chance to properly grieve. Rachel and Emily didn't have a great relationship. They fought constantly, Emily always venting about something Rachel did to drive her nuts. Things started to improve when Noah was born in 2018. Rachel, despite her struggles, wanted to be a good aunt, and they were slowly rebuilding. But when she died, it left a hole in Emily's heart I didn't fully see. I tried to be there for her. I held her when she cried, listened when she talked about Rachel, made sure she had space to process. But here's where I screwed up. Because their relationship was so rocky, and because Emily rarely brought Rachel up after the first few months, I assumed she was coping. I'd check in on Rachel's birthday or the anniversary of her death, but otherwise, I didn't push. I didn't ask how she was doing with her grief throughout the year. That was my biggest mistake. I didn't realize she was drowning in it. Fast forward to last December, the 4th anniversary of Rachel's death. My family planned our Christmas gathering on that exact day. Emily told me it was a bad day for her, that she was struggling. I passed that on to my parents, but they said it was the only day that worked for everyone else. I didn't fight it. I should have. I should have told them to pick another damn day, but I let it slide, thinking Emily would manage. That choice haunts me now. After that day, Emily started pulling away. We've always been a physical couple, not just in the bedroom but in every way. We'd have sex 4 or 5 times a week, our chemistry electric, but it wasn't just that. We were always touching, hugging, kissing, holding hands, cuddling on the couch, falling asleep wrapped in each other. It was our language, our glue. But after that Christmas party, it all stopped. No sex, no affection, nothing. When I asked what was wrong, she said she was struggling with Rachel's death, that this year was hitting her hard. She wasn't feeling sexual, she said, and I got it. Grief's a beast, and I wasn't about to pressure her. I told her I was there, whatever she needed. But it wasn't just the sex. She stopped wearing her wedding ring, stopped saying, "I love you," even when I said it first. No more cuddling, no more casual touches. She was a ghost in our house, moving through our routines but not really there. I'd try to talk, to get her to open up, but she'd shut me down. "It's not us," she'd say. "It's my sister. I'm just battling my own stuff." I begged her to let me in, offered to listen, to help, but she said she couldn't talk about it. Not with me. That was January, and it felt like I was losing her, piece by piece. By February, we were strangers sharing a house, co-parenting Noah and Ava but barely speaking. Conversations were awkward, surface-level small talk. I'd ask about her day, her job at the veterinary hospital, her axe-throwing hobby, and get one-word answers. Maybe once a week, I'd sit her down, pleading for a real talk. I knew she was grieving, but it was clear something was wrong with us. Those talks started with good intentions but always ended in fights, blaming each other for the distance. I felt helpless, watching my marriage crumble. And not knowing how to stop it. Then I learned about David. Emily mentioned in passing that a guy she used to know, someone from an old job, came into the hospital in early January. She said they talked, and he noticed she looked sad, like she was struggling. She broke down, sobbing, and spilled everything about Rachel. For some reason, she said, it was easy to open up to him, despite me begging to be that person for her. That stung, but I tried to focus on her needing support, even if it wasn't from me. David started helping with a puppy Emily brought home from work, a hyper little mutt we couldn't keep up with. Between our schedules and the kids, the dog was tearing up the house, so David offered to take her part-time. Emily was dropping the puppy off or picking her up 2 or 3 times a week, seeing him constantly. She started staying out late, sometimes not coming home until midnight. When I asked, she'd say she needed space. By late January, she moved into the spare bedroom, saying she needed more room to breathe. Every alarm in my body was screaming, but our relationship was so strained, I didn't want to accuse her of anything. I was naive, desperate to believe she was just grieving. Weeks dragged on. Last week, I got a call about a vasectomy I'd been referred for a year ago. The clinic had an opening for Friday, and I took it. Emily's birthday was coming up, and she'd been gifted tickets for us to do this chef in the bush experience, a hike into the woods for a 5-course meal cooked by a chef. With the procedure, I couldn't hike the next day, so I told her I'd have to skip it. She immediately asked if she could bring a friend instead of canceling, mentioning her coworker Jenny, who was going through some stuff. I said sure, but my gut was churning, screaming that she was taking David. She went on the excursion Saturday, gone all day, not back until 7 at night. When she got home, she was chatty, weaving this vivid story about her and Jenny, the food, the hike, how amazing it was. She plugged her phone in and headed for a shower. I've never been the type to snoop, never once checked her phone in 10 years. But something snapped. I grabbed her phone, my hands shaking, and opened her messages. She hadn't even tried to hide it. There it was, a month's worth of texts with David, professing their love, gushing about how they couldn't get enough of each other. Photos of them kissing, cuddling, holding hands, all dated over the past few weeks. Nothing explicit, but it didn't need to be. My heart was racing, my vision blurring. When she came out of the shower, I confronted her, my voice shaking. Who the hell is David, really? She froze, her towel slipping slightly, and then admitted it. They'd been seeing each other, emotionally for sure, maybe more. I asked if they'd had sex, and she swore they hadn't, but her eyes darted away, and I knew she was lying. Later, I found out David wasn't just some old coworker. He was her ex-boyfriend from 10 years ago, before we met. Back then, he was married, she was single, and their affair wrecked his marriage. Now he's single, she's married, and history's repeating itself. David's 45, a vet tech who works odd jobs, charming enough to worm his way back into her life. That was 2 days ago, and I'm a wreck. I'm staying at a buddy's place, crashing on his couch, because I can't be in our house right now. Emily's texted a few times, apologizing, saying she's messed up, that she was lost in her grief and David was there when I wasn't. I haven't replied. I can't. My head's a fog, my chest a constant ache. 10 years of my life, gone. Not wasted, because Noah and Ava are worth every second, but damn, it feels like I've been punched in the soul. We had what I thought was the perfect life, a love that could weather anything. Now it's ashes. The worst part is the kids. Noah's so young, just starting to understand the world, and Ava's barely talking, clinging to me with her tiny hands. The thought of only seeing them half the time, missing half their holidays, half their lives, rips me apart. I cry every time I think about it, like right now, tears blurring my laptop screen. I can't imagine a life where I'm not tucking them in every night, hearing Noah's endless questions, or seeing Ava's gummy smile first thing in the morning. Divorce looms like a monster, and I'm terrified of what it'll do to them. I keep replaying the last few months, searching for where I went wrong. I should have pushed harder when she pulled away, insisted on therapy, or fought for that Christmas date to change. I was supportive, but not enough, not in the way she needed. I let her grief become her excuse, let her drift into David's arms. But she chose this. She lied, hid it, let it grow while I begged her to talk. That betrayal cuts deeper than anything. It's midnight now, and my buddy's apartment is quiet, just the hum of the fridge and the distant sound of traffic. I'm on his lumpy couch, staring at my phone, a photo of Noah and Ava on the lock screen. They're at the park, Noah grinning with ice cream on his face, Ava in my arms, giggling. I can't lose them. I won't. But Emily? I don't know if I can look at her without seeing David, without feeling the knife she twisted in my back. The next morning, I drag myself to a coffee shop, needing to get out of the apartment. My eyes are gritty from no sleep, my coffee tastes like regret. I text Noah's preschool teacher, just to check in, and she says he's okay but quieter than usual. Kids sense things, and it kills me that he's feeling this. Ava's too young to understand, but I know she's missing our routine. I call my sister, Claire, a 38-year-old nurse who's always been my rock. She listens as I spill everything, my voice cracking. You don't have to fix this today, she says. Focus on the kids. Emily made her choice, but you get to choose what kind of dad you'll be. She's right, but it doesn't ease the pain. I meet Emily at the house that afternoon, needing to grab some clothes and see the kids. She's a mess, eyes red, hair unwashed. The house feels different, like the warmth's been sucked out. Noah runs to me, hugging my legs, and Ava toddles over, arms up. I hold them both, fighting tears. Emily tries to talk, but I cut her off. I'm here for them, not you. She nods, stepping back, and I spend an hour playing with the kids, building a Lego castle with Noah, reading to Ava. When I leave, Emily's crying, but I don't comfort her. I can't. I start looking into lawyers, quietly, because I need to know my options. Divorce feels inevitable, but I'm not ready to pull the trigger. I want to protect the kids, make sure I get as much time with them as possible. Emily's still at the house, still seeing David for all I know. I don't ask. I don't want to hear her voice, her excuses. I keep thinking about that chef in the bush trip, her lies about Jenny, the photos of her and David, so happy while I was home, recovering from surgery, trusting her. A week later, I'm still at my buddy's, but I've rented a small apartment nearby, wanting a stable place for the kids to visit. I've started therapy, a gruff guy who doesn't let me wallow. He says I need to grieve the marriage, not just rage at Emily. You're not just losing a wife, he says. You're losing who you thought you were. That hits hard. I thought I was a good husband, a good dad, but now I'm questioning everything. I see the kids every day, picking them up from preschool or daycare, taking them to the park. Noah asks why I'm not home, and I tell him mommy and daddy are working through some stuff, but I love him always. Ava just wants to be held, and I soak up every second. I'm trying to be their rock, but I'm crumbling inside. Emily and I have a tense meeting at a diner, our first real talk since I found out. She swears she's ended things with David, that she was lost in her grief and he was a mistake. I love you, she says, her voice breaking. I want to fix this. I don't believe her. Not about David, not about us. You broke us, I say, my voice cold. You chose him over our family. She cries, but I don't budge. I tell her I'm moving toward divorce, that we need to figure out custody and the house. She begs for another chance, but I can't see it. Not now, maybe not ever. The business side is messy. We don't work together, but the house is in both our names, and splitting it will be a fight. I'm saving every penny, preparing for a battle. Emily's parents are devastated, blaming her but also pleading with me to reconsider for the kids. I get it, but I can't live with a lie. One night, I'm at my new apartment, the kids asleep in the spare room. I find an old photo album, pictures from our early years. Emily and me at our wedding, dancing under string lights, her smile so bright it hurt. Noah's first birthday, us covered in cake, laughing. Ava's first steps, Emily cheering while I filmed. Those moments were real, but they're tainted now, colored by her betrayal. I cry, quiet so the kids don't hear, mourning the life I lost. Emily faces consequences. Her co-workers at the hospital know, and she's lost friends, her reputation taking a hit. David's out of her life, or so she claims, but I don't care. Her parents are distant, her grief over Rachel now tangled with shame. She's in therapy, trying to understand why she did this, but it's too late for us. I'm focused on Noah and Ava, on being the dad they deserve. I'm not perfect, never was, but I'm theirs, and no betrayal can take that away. Months later, we're separated, divorce papers in motion. I've got my apartment, the kids with me half the time. It's not what I wanted, but it's what I've got. Noah's adjusting, asking less about mommy, more about our next adventure. Ava's growing fast, her words coming in bursts, calling me Dada with a grin. I'm healing, slowly, finding joy in their laughter, in the life I'm building for us. Emily's a ghost in my heart, a love I buried. I don't hate her, just the choice she made. I'm moving forward, one step at a time, for my kids, for me. Have you ever been in a situation like this? What would you do? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this kind of content and want to hear more real-life stories, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means so much to me. Thank you.